always giving honor to the Creator, giving honor to our beloved ancestors. Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul of the Street Law Soldiers, my father, my sister, my brothers, my in-law, my sister-in-law, and all of my beloved ancestors, as well as all of your beloved ancestors. Once again, welcome to the Tuesday Night Bill, live and uncensored, Shaka Sankofa, General of the Street Law Soldiers. And as always, let us get on with our send our divine energies and blessings to all of our people. Peace and blessings to Chairman of the Street Law Soldiers, Detroit branch, Bob Shepsies. First and foremost, giving honor to our elders who are in nursing homes, group homes, assisted living facilities, hospitals, hospice, rehabilitation centers, even those that are in their own homes that may or may not be undergoing various issues of abandonment, neglect, and abuse. We want to send divine energies and blessings and honors and give thanks to our elders, for without them there would be no us. Also to our brothers and sisters who are dealing with acute alcoholism, chronic substance abuse, and other mood and mind altering chemicals that prohibits them from reaching that God frequency. We want to send energy and divine blessings to you all to raise your vibration and to raise your level of consciousness, as well as those who have to find and resort to bridge underpass, tents, deplorable shelters, bus stops, public restrooms, restaurants, fast food, bathrooms, sidewalks, park benches, and gutters. We want to give you all some divine energy and strength to raise your frequencies and give you divine protection as well. With permission from the Creator and ancestors. Also to our millions of brothers and sisters dealing with chronic mental health situations, which is at the crisis level now. We want to send divine energies and blessings to you all, as well as our brothers and sisters, those who have fallen short in terms of black-on-black violence, in terms of self-hatred and murder, where our blood is spilled in the street daily, and primarily our youth through gang activity and hopelessness. We want to send condolences to the families of those fallen soldiers, as well as to those who are still surviving, and hope that they may raise their consciousness and vibrational energy to rise above that level and that energy of self-hatred. Also to the millions of brothers and sisters who are behind enemy lines in these concentration camps, commonly known as county jails, detention centers, correctional facilities, state penitentiaries, USPs, federal institutions, halfway houses. Also to rehabilitation centers, transitional housing. We want to send divine energies and blessings and encourage you all to remain upright and erect during your times of turmoil in those concentration camps. Peace and blessings to Brother Tex Johnson, brothers that make some dynamite, stabs, anything you may desire. I'll fill you in on the information later on throughout the bill. Also to our brothers and sisters who are political prisoners, our elders who have devoted their lives decade after decade after decade in hopes that there will be liberation and salvation. As we are, most of us have picked up the baton, and we are the torchbearers present in the fight for liberation and salvation. But we never should ever forget those who were the trendsetters, those freedom fighters who set the path and laid out the plan for our liberation and salvation. We want to give those brothers and sisters honor as well. Once again, as always, whatever it takes for you to tune in, you smoke, you drink your popcorn or your corn liquor, whatever it takes for you to open that first dial up, shoppers to receive information through education, motivation, inspiration, and dedication to your people to fight in this battle for our liberation and salvation, and leave a legacy for our children. bootlickers, jigaboos, house niggas, sambo, buck dancers, boule, collaborators that look like us that collaborate and that are in cahoots with our enemy, as well as those white supremacists, white nationalists, Aryans, Nazis, KKK, skinheads, and those who benefit from white supremacy. Feel free to join into the bill, but as always, there will be fire placed up under all of your asses as always. And so, whatever it is that you need to do, go ahead and do. Take your time so we can build as a family as always. There's no big eyes and little U's. We are all in this struggle together as one. And so as we unite and move forward, we must be relentless and resilient in the fight with some of the greatest beasts and be toe-to-toe and nose-to-nose with some of the greatest and most vicious devils that ever walked the planet. And so it's an honor, as well as it should be an honor to yourselves to be able to be a part of liberation and a part of documented history as well. So we're going to give a minute or two for some more people to come on in before we start. As always, let me know what state and city that you're tuning in from so I can send divine energy and blessings to your particular state, energy, or hood, or community, or whatever place of existence that you're dwelling in at this time. Also, I'm going to just touch up on, recap on yesterday's show because it, I wasn't feeling it. I don't know what was going on with the situation with the Facebooks, I don't know what they were doing with the video portion of my page. Nevertheless, it seems as though it appears to be okay today. So what I'm going to do is more like an open discussion, and once I open up, feel free to if you have any questions, please hit in the comment box or any subject matter that you want to discuss. But basically, I'm just going to go over and recap some of yesterday's, and then we can build from that point on. The so-called mass shooting, which 20 people were shot, I believe 8 or maybe more. I'm not sure. I haven't been up to date on it, but as of yesterday, there were 8 that died as a result of this mass shooting. Now, once again, the biggest mass shooting in history is the jab. So let's not get that twisted. Let's not get that twisted. And I'm going to talk about that in terms of what they have, another move that they have made to ensure that we all are hit. Now, Mauricio Garcia, you know, and this is another thing that I hate as well, is this, you know, he appeared to be a good boy shit. You know, they pull this bullshit all the time. You know, I don't know what was going on in his mind. He was the devil. And you knew what was going on. You didn't want to address it, or you turned a blind eye to it. And as a result, a lot of casualties, people were murdered as a result of the neglect and turning a blind eye away from this negative behavior that this ice monkey, which is a natural behavior, the savage mentality that is innate, you know, with these Caucasians. It's a natural energy of carnage and loving the sight of blood and carnage and loving to maim and murder. This has been an energy that is part of their nature from the times that they were walking on all fours in the caves, eating juniper roots, smelling like sulfur, and, you know, engaging, you know, with intimacy with the animals, and you know, this is just innate in them. You know, it's a day at the office, you know, to kill 100 people. Because you're dealing with a species. You're dealing with a people with no consciousness, no God consciousness whatsoever. Now, a lot of them have religious motivation, but the God consciousness, most don't. They don't acquire to that. They don't adapt to that. You know, so this is what the results are in most cases, and this is what the mindset is with most non-African, non-black, non-indigenous people. They have this particular seed of savagery, but the way to deal with this is to counter with that same amount of energy and savagery. Because we've tried everything over the years. And Negroes are still doing the same bullshit. Getting on their knees, looking up at the sky, hoping that the devil will have a change of heart and have compassion for the original people of the planet. And it never has happened, and it never will happen. It never will happen. And we need to stop teaching our babies to just go along, get along, and, you know, if they call you a nigga, don't pay it no mind and all this shit. You know, we need to teach our children defense on all levels. We've become so pacified and pussified, and I'm talking primarily the males, become so timid and appear to be, a lot of males, black males appear to become broken men. They have appeared to become broken men. That white supremacy, white imperialism, white tyranny has taken the bite out of a lot of our brothers. But they have succumbed and surrendered and submitted to the enemy. But there are those, such as us, who are, you know, resilient and resistant against the demonic forces on this planet that refuse to buckle bow, not only for these Caucasians, but for anyone. And we need to be clear about that. This is why it's important that we have people in all aspects of society with that same mindset and that same energy in economics, in finance, in law, in labor, and mainly military. We have to be strategic, and we have to be professional, we have to be relentless, and we have to learn to persevere and learn to stand up to our enemies, opposed to standing up and having all the smoke you can muster for your brother. And once again, you know, some of you brothers have on these dashikis, and you got ankhs, 7-foot ankhs. You know every African language. You can hotep and all this until the goddamn cow, till the race soldiers come. Then you go straight into Bengay mode. And see, we need to deal with that. We need to deal with that. But you'll confront your brother. Your brother is always a suspect in the eyes of a self-hating nigga. In the eyes of a self-hating nigga. I don't care what you got on. You can have a bow tie, dashiki, fez. You can have all that on. But if you still walking around with that piece of European mentality, you're just spitting out rhetoric. Because we are good at talking. We're good at talking. We're good at diction. We have using proper diction, which I don't give a damn about. I speak the language that certain groups of people understand. I'm not in competition with no scholar, no intellectual, or none of that bullshit. Because no matter how you intellectualize your diction, it's the same feeling, the same results, and you're looked at in the same way. Peace and blessings to Brother Horn World Be Free, who wasn't able to make the pilgrimage, due to starting a new job and things of that nature. And, but, I want to give a salute to that brother for always tuning in, always standing strong, always standing tall as a true street law soldier. And we want to give that brother his just due. Let's just move to this situation here. Now, after I've done a little more in-depth research, I found a little more about Jordan Neely, who was choked to death. This was an open lynching. This was an open lynching. And now this cracker here has hired the attorney that is a rival of the DA that is prosecuting the case. See, this is how they play the game, because they know most of you all are not paying attention. You're just looking at the fact that he was murdered, and then you're going to hoop and holler and want justice. Now, I'm going to tell you off the break, if the cracker don't walk freely, he's going to get probation. Peace and blessings to Queen Kish, QC Queen down in Charlotte, North Carolina. Cracker's going to get probation, so don't be alarmed, because this is the way they think. We're going to get his cracker probation at best. Let the niggas run up down the street and holler. It'll wear off in about a month. They'll forget about this nigga. Get a wrongful death lawsuit, just pay him some money, and we'll just move on. The niggas they're just going to make a whole bunch of noise. They're going to be in the streets, rocking, with their arms locked, talking this bullshit about we shall overcome. You know, then here come Black Fags Matter and all the Skittles gang. Everybody's gonna pile up. You know, 2 or 3 days. Then you're gonna have the family out there crying. You know, the same selfish motherfuckers that wouldn't take him in. You know, now they play like they got so much overwhelming love for him. But you let him lay in the goddamn subway tracks. Yeah, you got candles. You done spent $300-400 on posters with his picture blowed up. That could have paid for him to be in a hotel for a month. That's why, you know, some of you niggas ain't shit, man. Some of you niggas ain't worth fuck. Then they get somebody to fake cry. You know, this is, this scripted bullshit. But what about him? When is somebody going to say, fuck the money, we want blood? And then it was a nigga. It was a black motherfucker that helped hold him down. And it was a black man standing, young brother standing right there while this man took his last breath. And then these motherfucking crackers stand up and, look at this motherfucker. He knew he was on camp. See, this shit goes down in history for their people. He's at home now. Family gathered around him. He playing like he's so sympathetic. But they watching, they looking at the picture. Inside, they really celebrating him. Snapping the black man's neck. But you niggas will run in the church and the mosque and the temple and bow down and, and hope for a better goddamn day instead of tearing some shit up. Don't tear up the hood. Go to the suburbs. Yeah, that's right, sis. Fucking families, some of these black families got so much nigga, buck dancing ass, false pride. That they think they are better than the rest of the slaves. Now, Jordan Neely wasn't no everyday guy. This young man was talented, and he's a Michael Jackson impersonator. And based on reliable sources, he was good at that. He was at these subways and out in the street doing these Michael Jackson impersonations. He had a streak of bad luck. Whether it was drugs, whether it was mental health, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Then everybody, the family's going to get up and cry and all this bullshit. See, this is a come up for these niggas. Peace and blessings, brother El Abdul Muhammad out there on the west side in Oaktown representing to the fullest. See, this is a come up for them. They get the chance to look at me, girl. Was my hair straight when I was talking with the news? This nigga shoe shining, spit shining, buck dancing ass shit. I've seen this shit happen. I've seen people do this. Yeah, man, I was going to call you up. You was right behind me. I wanted you to move over so you can get in the camera while I was talking to the people, man. I put it down that you ain't do shit, nigga. You ain't do shit, because ain't nothing come out of it. And I'm not going to mention what incident that was. Had this been a brother, and this been a motherfucking ice monkey, he was choking and snapped his neck, it would, everybody would have been outraged. We must put it in. Then all the gatekeepers and buck dancing ass niggas that's in political positions. when it came out. We must put an end to this violence. You know, black violence has roles. They would have came with all this. They would have looked into history. They would have talked about this man's mother, whether she was ever locked up, whether the father was. They would have went and dissected that. And then the New York Post put out yesterday, they called this motherfucker the bag the backpacker or some shit. Didn't even want to put his name out. And we've gotten so accustomed and so immune to watching our people get fucked around, over sentenced, put out on the street, slain by goddamn pigs, all of this shit, babies being killed. We've gotten so accustomed to this shit that our response ain't worth a fuck. Even Walmart can tell when it's a protest because they see the niggas come in buy all the goddamn poster paper and Crayola goddamn markers. This shit it's a fucking joke, man. It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke. Then we wonder why these young brothers and sisters are reacting in the way that they are. Because they see there's no backbone in the fucking community. No fucking backbone. And the backbone that's in the community, the masses of gatekeeping, bootlicking motherfuckers try to smother that energy. Can't tell nobody to put no pistol down and, you know, they got rats in the house, the mother's on crack. He got 4 little babies. He 14 years old. He tired of seeing them go to bed hungry, you know, and then you look at the end fucking result. Then you want to punish him for that. These ice monkeys go on mass killing sprees regularly. And the first thing they say is mental health. They don't know what's wrong with him. He was such a quiet young man. He was a piece of fucking shit. He's an ice monkey motherfucking Neanderthal, savage, sulfur smelling piece of shit. Send that cracker to Rikers Island for 30 days. And let them sodomites get a hold of his motherfucking ass. I bet you it won't be a top neck he be choking. I don't, you know, this is not sitting well. These public lynchings. This white piece of shit, his hands are the rope. This is the modern day lynching. He has the same look on his face as his goddamn ancestors, them rotten motherfuckers that be in those lynching pictures with them same goddamn beady ass, non-melanated goddamn eyes. And then people will say, I like the video, but it's just the profanity, it's cussing. But you don't like the cuss. I'll stop cussing if you take your lips off the cracker's ass. You get the cracker's dick hair out your fucking teeth, then I'll stop. All of them should be punished. I don't know why they didn't 4 or 5 motherfuckers and take 2 queens. They should have crushed them motherfuckers in there. Then you know what they would have said? If a gang came in there, a street gang came in there. See, this is the whole act. See the scene. Look at his face now. This is court transcript. The man was just loud. The man was just loud. Peace and blessings, Comrade Gerald Moore. He was just loud. You get that every time you ride these trains or buses. You always get someone that's erratic, but basically harmless. Basically harmless. He didn't bother. He didn't put his hands on nobody. But I keep telling y'all, this is how these crackers do. They're not gonna fuck with you a one-on-one battle. They don't want no smoke at all, because they know what's coming. Because they know when we battle one of them in combat, something comes out of us. Something comes out of us that refuses to surrender or lose. And they know this is the same way the motherfucking pigs do. The same way. We have to look at Jordan Neely as your nephew. That's your brother. That's your cousin. And people that are watching this, you don't know if he's actually genetically related to you. You don't know that. This is how separated they got us, fucked up like this. Well, we don't even know our own genealogy. So we don't even know really if that brother is biologically related to us. And so by not knowing, we need to act as though he is. These public lynchings. And then, never mind when George Floyd was murdered. Never mind that. Now everybody talking about he was on fentanyl. See, black people make all these excuses up to justify these lynchings. Black people. Eric Gardner was selling single cigarettes. How many motherfuckers do you know out here sell singles? Everywhere you go is singles. Or loose ones or nudies, whatever your particular hood calls them. Public lynchings. Now let me ask you this. If that was your son, if that was your daughter, if that was your father, would you want time to go by and they be forgotten after the T-shirts and everything, the pictures wear off the T-shirts, all the balloons been in the air, all the candles been burnt out? Peace and blessings, brother Christopher DeWitt. Yeah, brother, I had some wonderful news for you as well. But just think. Eric Gardner had daughters. But no one says anything to these Arab motherfuckers. No one says anything to these fucking goops. No one says anything to these small hats. They get passes all day. They get passes all day. We're getting to the point, because this is going to, once again, I told you all earlier, this is going to be extremely violent summer. But it has to be casualties on both sides. We're going to have to start leveling the playing field. Everybody's eating off the dead bodies and carcasses from the funeral homes, Planned Parenthood, these hospitals, these universities, these med schools using cadavers, organ harvesting, funerals, churches, Everybody, liquor stores, gas stations, the drug subculture, everybody eats off the carcass of the black man and woman and black child. Even down to the black fetus. That our sisters have allowed themselves to be cons to letting these motherfucking sinister Frankensteinian ice monkeys destroy the life in their womb. And they call that health care. This is how sinister this shit is. This is how deep this shit goes. And you know who lets them in the black communities? You know who lets the Koreans in? You know who lets the Arabs in? You know who lets these motherfucking Chaldean goat fucking motherfuckers in the community? The church. Why do you think there's a church on every corner, cat a corner in the fucking hood that doesn't do anything for the hood but suck in money? You go through hell living in the hood. You subject yourself to poverty, oppression, depression, self-hatred, day in and day out, murder, police sirens, ambulance, elderly's dying, people getting hit by cars, heroin and fentanyl overdoses, motherfuckers climbing light poles and shit off of these goddamn K2 and Molly's and PCP. And then they train them for salvation to run up in there and take the rest of the change that they got to survive with and give them a false sense of goddamn hope. And these motherfuckers ride away in Bentleys. Just like the church was pushing the jab. Couldn't come, you gotta wear a mask to go in the fucking church. Knowing the mask is what gets your ass sick, because all you doing is inhaling toxic carbon waste that you're supposed to be exhaling out of the body to receive fresh carbon. But the shit is going back into you. Peace and blessings to Sister Teresa Covington down in Texas. And they know this shit. This is what I'm saying. This is why I stay on these gatekeepers' asses. This motherfucker here, this buck dancing, jigaboo, Sambo, Bubbles the Chimp looking motherfucker, Eric Adams, mayor of New York. You don't hear nothing from them. See, when these tragedies happen, you don't hear from Cory Booker. You don't hear from Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker and Karen Bass and Muriel. You don't hear from them when these ice monkeys do this shit. They back up and go in the corner. They go in the corner in the closets and they hide. Had this been the other way around, all of these niggas would have came out. All of them. They would have pushed for the death penalty. They would have done all types of shit. These gatekeeping bitches. Then you get these fake motherfucking undercover switch hit motherfuckers. They got black shows, so-called black shows like Rollover Martin, who pushes that fucking rhetoric like he down for the people, but behind closed doors, it's a different story. How do you think he remains on television? Because he's a non-threatening Negro. Who writes his check? Who writes his fucking check? So they can miss me with the fuck shit. That's why I know. That's why I know a lot of people that be saying, you know, Black Power and Hotep, and they not gonna do shit either. They just as bad as these gatekeeping motherfuckers. They just got on a different attire and speaking a different language. Same motherfucking behavior, same motherfucking results. Yeah, exactly. See, you can't withdraw nothing without being a member and paying tithes for 4 or 5 goddamn years. And which really, when that sister asked for a donation to help with her deposit, see, by her not being a member, because they're not gonna give her nothing. So if she was a member, think about it. And she been in there 4 or 5 years paying tithes regularly, she wouldn't been doing nothing but getting her own fucking money back. So they really didn't give her a loan. They really wouldn't have gave her a loan, but since one of these gatekeeping motherfuckers got to come out their pocket, one of these switch hitting, you know, all the welcome type niggas that be preaching this bullshit Sunday, that got a whole choir full of motherfucking switch-hitting motherfucking sissies. But they want to lay hands on the dope fiends. And so they told her she's not a member of the church. See, that sounds like some shit, you know, of going to a bank and they tell you don't have no money in your account. Then you got to make an appointment to see some of these motherfuckers, you know, and sit there and cry, and everybody got to lay hands on you. You got to keep one eye open so a nigga hand won't be on your ass, you know, when they praying with you. Just to get a couple dollars. So the sister Kish Queen gave her. I'm speaking on the situation that she had in Charlotte, and you know they wouldn't give this sister a deposit. She's a victim of domestic violence, and she had, you know, half of the money. She just needed a boost, and she went to the church, and they told her she wasn't a member, so they couldn't help her. So the sister Kish Queen gave a barbecue, you know, and you know, and that raised the money for her to move into her apartment. And we need to salute that sister for you know, that gallant effort, you know, unselfish, you know, that's the unselfish black power that we need. And so this is why I tell y'all, I don't explain, I don't drop nothing down here that I'm not sure of, and I don't know what I'm talking about. The gatekeepers, the boule, these buck dancing motherfuckers. These are the most dangerous motherfuckers out here. They're more dangerous than the global elitists. They are more dangerous. Look how many decades we've been fighting these motherfuckers and we still can't get to the wisdom because of these niggas. And this is another reason, you know, and once again, thank that sister for being there. And that's another reason I don't be asking for anything. Because I know the play. Even people that watch this show that got their fists up and, oh, you let it down, you put it down. But when we talk about, putting together making a donation or an escrow so we can go from city to city, feeding our brothers and sisters in the hood, a lot of people come up with 1,000 goddamn excuses. I've been doing this shit for 20 years. And I've seen it all. I've seen the fake, getting rid of the fake street law soldiers and all of that. All of that. Your heart got to be, your compassion has to override everything. Going that extra mile makes the ancestors proud of you. That makes the creator and the ancestors proud of you. And this is why a lot of times those who are putting in the work and sometimes be uncertain as to how they're going to make ends meet, it always happens because the ancestors and the creator make that happen. There's nothing magical about it. It's just avenues and doors and people that recognize that will come on in. I'm good at reading energy. I know the fuck shit from the real shit through experience. But these are the dangerous motherfuckers like him. The Eric Michael Dysons and Cornel Wests and all these motherfuckers that make these speeches and have these nigger summits. The black Caucasians. The Urban League. NAACP, National Association of Asshole Coon People. All of these different little gatekeepers. Black fags matter. All of this shit. All of it's some shit that needs to be destroyed. All this shit needs to be destroyed. It's just like a chessboard. Them are the big... Give away them motherfucking pieces. And just leave us with the pawns so we can link together, because we can recrown ourselves once we get to the other side of the board and destroy everybody that's in the way. These reptilian motherfuckers they work day and night. And once again, when this reptilian motherfucker, when he came to DC knocking on doors, the elderly. Let me see if I can pull it up. I want to show y'all this shit, man. I want to show y'all this. I gotta show y'all this. Show y'all this motherfucking ice monkey. He got his ass. Okay, let me go to this. Let me see. I don't know if y'all can hear it. Okay, let me do this. Let me go on here and that way y'all can hear it. Give me a second, y'all. I'm just gonna show y'all.
On a vaccination for something that wasn't clear in the first place, and then you all create a shot in miraculous time. I'm not going to be lining up taking a shot on a vaccination for something that I'm not going to be lining up taking a shot on a vaccination for something that wasn't clear in the first place, and then you all create a shot in miraculous time.
Well, I heard that it doesn't cure it, and it doesn't stop you from getting it.
No.
So
on the very, very, very rare chance that you do get it, even if you're vaccinated, it's you don't even feel sick. It's like you don't even know you got infected.
Just want y'all to see. A lot of them people
in
ain't
Washington, D.C. And I'm joined by...
A lot of them people ain't go for that shit. You know, a lot of them ain't go for that bullshit. You know, if we wasn't in town that day, but if I was here, if I was here, yeah, we'd have ran his motherfucking ass up out of here. We'd have ran his ass up out of here. You know, but I take my hat off to those who stood up to him. But I saw a lot of people. I saw one lady bow down to this motherfucker when he knocked on the door. You know, and that's the shit. This is the shit we gotta get rid of. We gotta get rid of this old mindset. You know, this slave mindset that we're in. We gotta get rid of that. And these devils, these are devils. Whether y'all want to accept it or not, you know, people argue and defend these motherfuckers. Now, what they've done was they've injected all of the meat with the jab. And I told y'all that about a year ago what they was going to do. I knew they had put it in the water. And that's when the guy did the documentary, something in the water or something. It was a documentary that got banned. You know, the Asian man that was a whistleblower along with this other brother from the CDC in Atlanta. They found him in the river down there. He was a high official in the CDC. And they found him in the river, threw him over a bridge. The Asian man, they blew his brains out. And so it was just one white dude left. And that's how the documentary came about. But it spread it like wildfire, and then they banned it. They banned it and took it off social media. And so, now think about this. During the time people are supposed to have been locked in from 2020 to 2023, when nobody was going out, how did everybody get infected or had this shit? Because the CDC they contracted the CDC in these local water treatment plants. And they was pushing that shit and doing recycled water, sending it back in the hood. This is why they were able to say a new variant is coming. And that's why so many people that were quarantined ended up sick. Because they were taking showers, drinking coffee and tea with that same goddamn water. These are some sinister motherfuckers. And until we understand that and start trying to deal with this shit, we're going to get fucked up even more. And not only that, our children are going to suffer a horrible, I'm talking about a horrible Frankensteinian mental illness along with physical illness that you've never seen ever. That's never been done before. These children, your grandchildren are going to take on and suffer like fuck. Like no other race. If we don't stop this shit in its tracks. All of this soon will be legal. All of this soon will be legal. In the future, they're gonna have places where you can just go sit down and shoot dope, like a little park or buildings and stuff where you go in there with your addict card. You go in there and shoot dope like they was doing in London. They're gonna call themselves curbing crime, cutting down crime. And our baby's going to become full-blown junkies before middle school. And you're going to see kids in drug treatment facilities at 12, doing fucking 12-step programs, going to meetings at 11 and 12 years old. This is the pace that they're taking us. This is the route they're taking us on. And prison overcrowding. At the rate things are going now, prison will basically become a luxury. This is the pace that this shit is going. This is the rate that things are going. FEMA camps going to expand. They already have 800 FEMA camps. People going to be quarantined. Everybody's going to get chipped. They're not going to have no more ID cards and credit cards. All that shit going to go to waste. The mark of the beast. Everybody, and those who part of the resistance will be executed and exterminated. And this is why I tell you all, if you ain't down, just go on about your business and fall in line with the rest of the fucking sheep and prepare yourself just to be slaughtered. It's levels to this shit. And everybody's not built for this. Everybody's not built for this. Ask the Creator and the ancestors every day that those who deserve to be back in society, and I'm talking about all the 50, 60,000 penitentiaries and institutions and correctional facilities, that them real men just insurrect, that those millions that are in will unite with all the street gangs in every inner city. And these men will lock arms, and the women will strip them, take their nails and shit off, take all that shit off, pull these people's hair out their head, and snatch them babies out them schools and say, fuck this shit, it is on. This is that's the final solution. The final solution. But in the meantime, we got to have people that know how to strategize and prepare for probably one of the greatest wars that ever existed in mankind. The rise of the black gods and goddesses. This is why Gil Scott Heron and so many other people said the revolution will not be televised. You must link up with your brothers and sisters, those who are worthy, those such as you brothers and sisters on this channel. You all have been deemed worthy. You have been chosen by the Creator and your ancestors. All of you are manifestations either of your brothers, your mothers, your grandmothers, your great-grandmothers, your mothers and mothers and mothers. All of us are the physical manifestation of all that energy, as well as all of that pain, all that frustration, the lynchings, the hangings, the unemployment, the rapes, the denial, the living in poverty. It's starting to come to a boil. So, it is up to us. It is up to us to lay the blueprint down. Because I want to see this shit. I want to see the fall of this goddamn cracker. I want to see the fall of this fucking empire. I want to see justice. And if your heart if your heart is too soft and you too fucking tender, like I said, get out the way. Just get out the way. And make room for the gods and goddesses to come through and set this shit straight. Because our babies, anti-sexualization of our children movement. Shout out to Brother Irritated Genius. Straight Black Pride. War on the fucking horizon. And all other organizations and movements. Because you've been ordained to be in this space and time to do what you're doing now. How many more people we're going to have to see perish and be lynched and die? Our parents. Some of your parents, our parents work all of their lives till they can't walk or they're not even here no more. And what do we do with that legacy? You take that energy and you move on. You represent them. I carry thousands of people with me every day. Every day. And you all do too. You just got to tap into them people. Tap into them people, man. And one day you're going to hear something like this. It's going to be worldwide. Nobody with no news will be able to cover this shit. You just got to get the fear of this crack out your goddamn heart. Get the fear of this motherfucking ice monkey, this reptilian, accidental motherfucking experiment, a walking germ motherfucker out your heart. Cause them days of just talking and, just browbeating and just, these intellectual pissing contests to see who got the most degrees and all this bullshit ain't gonna help us do shit. We get dumber and fucking dumber. Peace and blessings to Ramazu, and Rob. So it's time to, make something happen. No matter how minute you may think it is, if it's helping towards liberation and helping one person have a better day and give somebody a beacon of light and hope, you don't know how far that can go in somebody's life. And I'm speaking to these brothers and sisters that are locked down behind enemy lines, those that are worthy, stand up. Continue to form your groups inside. Make preparations to come out here and be a part of the solution. And for those who are in there that are coming up with a plan to be a better piece of shit when they come out, stay in there. I ask the Creator, keep them in there. We need no more cancers to the community. I hope y'all got something out of this bill, you know, even if it's just to motivate you to move in the right direction towards liberation and salvation. You all know how to reach the Street Law Soldiers, 202-294-7831, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're willing to build with anybody that's built the boat, that's willing and understand the mission. Peace and blessings, cousin Rodney Faison. I didn't forget you, brother. I'm going to go into something else. Try to do many shows as I possibly can this week. So,